It's just, we're gonna be here all night if we're constantly passing in ballots and counting them, just to find out that 500 people or something. It's nonsense. We do it though, 10% of you want. And with that, any more opening, take your patience. Let's crack. So, here we go. Article 1. To see what sum the district will be authorized to expend regular instruction. The school board recommends $12,769,213.32. Do I have a motion for that amount? Do I have a second? Any discussion? I see none. We'll have the vote. As many are as in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Many opposed to the motion, please raise their right hand. Thank you. I'm ruling that that passes. Article 2, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for special education. The school board recommends $5,758,869.04. Do I have a motion for that amount? Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Sure, if you want to discuss, just queue up by the microphone and
That's actually the camera. The
oh,
microphone's
goodness.
back there.
Apologies.
The microphone's back there.
Tom, behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Tom, behind you.
We are. This is a.
That's gonna. I would have got a bunch of people.
Can you state your name again, sir? I'm sorry.
Tom Lucas Brownfield.
Thank you.
My concern is the money we're spending on special education. When you look at the numbers, what are we getting for it? Not much. And I don't blame the school system I don't blame the teachers, let's put it that way. It's the system that's the problem. Your job as a teacher is to teach. You can't make a child learn. That's their parents' responsibility and their responsibility. If a child sits home 8-10 hours a day playing video games and all his books has an inch of dust on them, no amount of special education money is going to change the outcome. Too much of the money we're spending on special education is wasted because you've got to have a child that's participating to get anything out of it. You go down to the Amish community in Hiram, their math and basic math and reading skills are second to none because they apply what they learn and their community expects it of them. So I just don't see where spending the money we're spending is getting us any results. That's all.
Thank you. Any other discussion? First one there, gifted. Queue up.
Hi there. My name is Percy Calhoun, and I am a teacher. I am a mother. Receive special education services here. And I would like to say that having those services, I have seen a huge improvement in my son's math scores from last year to this year. So that money is actually working and it is helping. And special education is not easy to qualify for, and you do have to meet certain criteria. Oftentimes it's a learning disability, so it doesn't have anything to do with desire to apply yourself or work hard. So I just wanted to give that bit of information.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, we'll take the vote. As many are in favor of the motion, will please now raise their right hand. Thank you. Hands down. And as many as are opposed to the motion, please raise their right hand. Thank you. This motion passes. Article 3, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for career and technical education, and the school board recommends $0. Do I have a motion for that amount of money? Thank you, and a second? Very good, any discussion? Seeing none, we'll have a vote. As many as are in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you. As many as are opposed to the motion, please raise your right hand. Thank you. That motion passes. Article 4, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for other instruction, the school board recommends $161,162.13. Do I have a motion for that amount of money? Thank you. Any second? Thank you. Any discussion? Very good. Come on up. No, can you please stand at the microphone? I appreciate that very much. I want everyone to be able to hear you. Thanks, and can you tell us your name, please?
And it doesn't say what kind of other instruction. Let's get the instructions that we're supposed to be teaching now. Math, reading, history, things that we're supposed to be learning. Our students are way down on the chart as far as their education in this country. And this district is very bad. So why are we wasting that much money on something you can't even name? Other instruction. Other instructions for what? Do we need instructions to take them to the bathroom? What instructions do we have in this? So
That section of the budget relates to co and extracurriculars, so sports programs, clubs.
From this board, what kind of other instructions we're spending all that much extra money on?
Co and extracurriculars.
What?
Sports, clubs, summer school.
I didn't hear.
Sports programs, after-school programs like drama, student council, so co-curriculars and extracurriculars.
Extracurriculum does not need to have tax dollars. Extracurriculum, you know, if somebody wants to send their kid for tap dancing or ballet or football, basketball, let the parents pay for that themselves.
Bless.
I say we just teach them the things they need.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Come on up, please. Please speak into the microphone. Please tell us your name.
My name is BJ Parker, I'm from Brownfield, and I just wanted to understand how it is that we're talking all about, career and tech education everywhere we go. It was discussed, it was a heavily discussed matter at one of the informational sessions. Yeah, we wanna give $161,162.13 for extracurricular and sporting events? That seems a little backwards to me, personally. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, seeing none, we'll take up the motion. All those, or as many as are in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you, hands down. As many as are opposed to the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you. This motion passes. Article 5, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for student and staff support. The school board recommends $1,474,183.56. Do I have a motion for that amount? Thank you, and a second? Thank you. Any discussion? Sure, come on up.
Emily Ender Freiberg. I just wonder if we could get some elaboration on the improvement to instruction, which is seeing over a 28% increase for those who didn't have the luxury to review those documents online.
In improvement to instruction, there is half of the curriculum coordinator's salary as well as the individual who is going to be operating the behavior support. The coordinator for that program is going in there.
So clarification, that's salaries for
Yes.
two individuals.
Yep.
Any other discussion on this article? Okay, seeing none. As many as are in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you. Hands down. As many as are opposed to the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you very much. Hands down. This motion passes. Article 6, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for system administration. And the school board recommends $744,308.77. I have a motion for that amount. Thank you, in a second. Thank you. Any discussion? Come on up or down, wherever it is.
Hi, Holly Hazard from Brownfield. Is it possible, because I'm not familiar what these items are for, is it possible to do a little bit of an explanation? For instance, what is system administration? And then, I mean, it's $750,000. What specifically is that? Thank you.
System administration is basically the central office, so the business administration, the personnel director, the bookkeeper, the accounts payable person, the administrative assistants. That's what the central office is. And the director's portion of that would be funds that go to the school board. When they would attend a fall training in Augusta, the money would come out of there. They get paid a pittance, so there's money for stipends and mileage in there as well.
Thank you.
Any more discussion on this article? Up, come on up.
Emily Ender Freiberg again. Hello. Perhaps we could also get an explanation for the gap here for comparison data from fiscal year 25 to 26 from executive administration, the reworking of those budget line items for those who weren't here last year. And also just a brief note about the raising the superintendent's salary, which I think is not reflected necessarily evidently, like it's not immediately evident based on these comparison data. Thank you.
The reformatting is because we moved to a different payroll system. And so instead of the overarching categories in system administration, it's split out into directors, executive administration, which would be things related to the superintendent, and then central services, which would be the rest. It's a different payroll system. I will let the school board speak to my salary. I'm not sure.
Does anybody have something?
What was the question about the salary?
So if I recall correctly, I did look online for a record of this happening at last year's meeting, and I couldn't find anything resembling a minutes or an amendment. But anyway, as I recall, we voted on a salary increase for the superintendent over and above like like the cost of living, you know, like the year-over-year increase? That's not, it's like, how much?
10,000 last year, 4,400 this year. It accounts for 0.0176% of the $25 million budget.
Okay, so for those who can hear that, I think they said 10,000 was the increase voted for last year, and this year was a 4,400 increase, which is less than 1% of the.
Less than a quarter of a percent.
Less than a quarter of a percent year over year, but last year was a much more significant increase.
Last year, the personnel committee decided that it was important to bring Superintendent Robinson's salary up to the bare minimum for his experience and the surrounding districts, which was a significant jump, but up until then, he had only received the minimum increases, and that's where we're back at this year. So for context, he's been here I think 14 years, and in addition, this year, we no longer have a transportation manager, and he has taken on that position as well. So that reflects actually a big savings for the district.
Thanks for the refresher. Sure.
Thank you. Any more discussion on this?
Yeah.
It's right here.
Pete Gasper, Brownfield. When I talked to you in Brownfield, you said you weren't taking any monetary, any more money for taking over transportation. Did you lie to me?
The raise he's receiving.
That's what you
this
said in
year-
the last meeting.
The raise he's receiving this year is just for the superintendent. He's not being compensated as the transportation director. He's just taking on
Let's get
that,
another raise. All right, thank you.
which is basically a little over the COLA this year.
My name is Joyce Gibbering, and I'm from Brownfield. I want to remind everyone in here that to bring his salary up last year to $10,000, to make it comparable for the other superintendents, you know, within Maine, the other superintendents have more grades than he has. He does not have 12, 13, 14, or 15. He does not have those grades. So he has 4 less grades to account for. And also, I have another question. That $744,308.77. How many employees does that cover?
I would be speculating somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 to 300
Well, that's how many people work in the office?
in the district.
I'm talking about in the office. You said that, I mean, this is for the school board recommendations for the system administration, and that is within this building, right? So there's 200 and some, employees?
No. We have a business administrator, payroll, accounts payable. We have a personnel assistant. We have an administrative assistant to the superintendent. We have my position.
Okay, so how many people does this 744,000 cover? 5 or 6?
And lots of other things. I
Such
mean, the
as?
reason we give you the line by line is so you can see exactly what it is. There are legal fees, there are supplies, there's software to deal with the district payroll.
Okay, it's not only employees.
It's not only employees.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Erin McCarthy, Forever. I think this will go under this area for central office. I just have a question. I know you guys tried really hard not to cut the face-to-face teachers, which I think you guys did really good. My question is more about some of the cuts that were in the central office and the roles that were filled by people currently. Where are those, all the duties those people were doing, are those gonna fall now onto other personnel and overburden them?
No.
Hi, Chris News from Prater. So we eliminated the transportation director position, correct? How much was that?
roughly, I think I included it. 78,000.
Okay, and you're doing that job now for free?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Any other discussion on this article, number 6?
Oh, over there.
Seeing none. Oh, hey there. Please state your name even though you're up front.
Sarah Owens. I would just like to point out that, and I don't know that everyone has this information, I'll show it out here. This is from the Maine School Management Association. I got this today. It basically ranks where superintendent salaries are across the state. Our superintendent salary is below the 50th percentile for what superintendents across the state are paid. It's barely above the 25th percentile. So just thought that would be helpful information.
Skipping again from brownfields, those superintendents, how many grades do they cover? Versus this district?
Maine is a very big state, so there are a lot of districts that are just like ours. I don't know the number, but there
You
are.
have the information right in front of you.
No, this just lists all of the salaries for the superintendents across.
And those superintendents cover all the grades?
Not all of them, no.
Well,
I'm
tell
sorry,
me which ones don't? I mean, according to you, you don't have that information in front of you, so how do you know?
It's not germane to the article.
I'm not sure how you want me to proceed. I can.
I appreciate the question. I think it is germane to the article. That's one way to cut it.
So I don't know the number of the districts, but there are quite a few districts in Maine that do what we do, that have, they have agreements with schools like Freiburg Academy, like Thornton Academy, or Gould, or places like that, where they don't have a public high school. And so we're definitely not the only district that does that.
Right, but you're still dancing around this.
I'm just giving you all the information that I have. I can pass
What
it on
is
to the
their
board.
salaries of those districts?
I don't specifically know which, in the information that I have, which districts have which grades, but I do know that there are quite a number of districts that do not have all 12 grades under how the district operates.
So in other words, you really don't have any valuable information to give us on what you just spoke about.
Yes.
Beth Bosworth, Carter. I would also remind everybody that our school district has multiple schools, and that does that's something to take into account, and our responsibility doesn't end at 8th grade. We are still responsible for the students that go to Freiburg Academy in various ways. And so while it's not an apples to apples comparison, it is worth remembering that it's a big job, and we really think hard about how we do the budget and the salaries. And in order to keep a superintendent, especially one with a lot of experience, it's important that we at least attempt to be competitive.
Thank you.
Trish Brunel, Denmark. I think the whole thing that she's trying to get across here is when you do 3/4 of the work of others, you shouldn't be brought up to the others' paycheck. So your explanation of, well, 50%, what are that? Yeah, when you don't do the work, you don't get the added pay. And when students continually fall further behind, you don't get a pay raise. I swear, the school and the district is one of the very few jobs other than stinky government in Augusta where you guys seem to think it's okay to get a raise when you don't perform the way you need to perform. We're falling further and further behind the country. Maine has dropped from the top 5 to number 46, and you sit up there and pat yourselves on the back like it's a good thing, and then tell him, yes, we need to give him a raise to bring him up. I say fire him and replace him with somebody who can do the damn job.
Any more discussion on this article? Please come on back.
Just one comment. I think the frustration is, it sometimes feels like, as a taxpayer, that everyone putting this budget together lives in some kind of bubble. We live in some of the poorest towns in this state, in this district. The greatest asset we have within 30 miles of here is the Brownfield Country Market, who feeds this community at a discount rate. People are strapped, and we see the budget keep going up another $1 million for this year. Where do you think this money comes from? There's got to be a point when you realize the people don't have the ability to keep up with your spending. We have some of the highest mill rates in the state. That's the frustration we feel. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more discussion on this article?
Yeah, I got something. Vincent Carbone, Brownfield, Maine. I was wondering, what was it, the transportation position you took over also for the superintendent? Took over the transportation supervisor, was it? Or what's the title of that position?
Transportation management.
So, is that a 40-hour-a-week job, or?
Yes.
So I'm wondering, how as a superintendent, is that a 40-hour-a-week job as well?
At least, yeah.
So I'm wondering how you could get that job done, both of them at the same time, when we need a superintendent to attend to these issues where our kids can't read and write when they get to the academy or do math. And everybody in here is worrying about the money that they're spending on kids that need it the most, the ones that fall through the cracks. Nobody's there for till somebody calls 911 on one of those kids. So I'm wondering how our superintendent can address these issues that we're dealing with when he's got 2 full-time jobs. Doesn't make any sense to me. I think that's something that needs to be addressed and elaborated a little more in depth. How can a superintendent do 2 full-time jobs when they don't even have enough time to address the issues on their plate and the endless topics that end up on the table of unfinished business that the board doesn't want to talk about either?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Any more discussion or response? Come on up.
My name is BJ, I'm from Brownfield, and I just want to echo that because although I don't know a lot of details, my kids are not in the schools anymore, I do have some pretty steep concerns about the incident that took place this last year in terms of transportation.
There's more to say. It's a
What
whole nother
I'm
meeting.
talking about, and it
I'm gonna have to write
concerns me
about
that
that.
we have somebody that's doing, 90 hours worth of work in a 40-hour week, and doing that with the transportation piece in particular. That really worries me. We already have a huge problem with busing and getting drivers and all of that, and now we have this whole other issue with trying to cope with that issue, resulting in a very serious matter. I don't even know if it's resolved yet, but I'm very hesitant to have that particular position covered by somebody that's already doing a full-time job. Thank you.
Just for clarification, the tasks that fell on the transportation manager are now spread throughout the central office, with Superintendent Robinson having the bulk of the work on him. So he gets the phone calls at 4 a.m., et cetera, et cetera. And I really, as far as the transportation issue that you're referring to, just for a quick synopsis, the board did a full review with external people who came in and looked at all of the data, and that is available online for your review as well.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I'm Jeff Owens Freiberg, and full disclosure, I'm married to someone on the school board. But having that viewpoint, I just wanted to address some of the previous speakers who were making mention of people living in a bubble and not understanding how the taxpayers of the district function. Many, if not all, well, I don't think all at this time, but many of the school board members have children in the district, and I can testify to the fact that they are very aware of the struggle that it is to fund this, and that they work very hard to do whatever they can to put the money where it needs to go and to cut whatever they can. They're not living in a bubble. They are living in the thick of things with all of us, and just wanted to share that perspective.
Thank you. Anybody else on this article number 6? All right, well, I see no more, so we will take up the question. I might as well read it again. It's been a little while. To see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for system administration, and the motion is for, with the school board recommendation, $744,308.77. As many as are in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you kindly. Hands down. As many as are opposed to the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you kindly. This motion passes. Article 7, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for school administration, and the school board recommends $606,627.33. Do I have a motion for that amount of money? Thank you. Any second? Thank you. Any discussion on Article 7, please? You guys were doing so well. Seeing none. As many as are in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you. Hands down. As many as are opposed to the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you. This motion passes. Moving on, flip the page. Article 8. To see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for transportation and buses, and the school board recommends $1,149,578.06. Do I have a motion for that amount of money, please? And a second. Thank you kindly. Let me guess, anyone have anything they would like to add? Seeing none. As many as are in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you. Hands down. As many as are opposed to the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you very much. This motion passes. Article 9. To see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for facilities maintenance. The school board recommends $1,396,677.61. Do I have a motion for that amount of money? And a second. Thank you much. Any discussion, please? Come on up.
Hello, Jeffrey Walberger, Freiberg. My question is surrounding, I know we didn't approve a lot of things like Brownfield Denmark, did some things, we kind of took it off the budget. My question is, do we have at the school a master's facilities plan which can somehow be shared to the public to ease the burden? So a master's facility plan essentially is anything that needs to be replaced has a 5, 10, 15, 20-year lifespan. So like knowing that it's coming up in like 5 years so we can prepare for that to be on the budget, I think it would ease some of this stuff and maybe help you guys budget a little more effectively when those things come up and not have to be cut. Because it sounded like Brownfield Denmark really needed that when we took cut out the budget because we didn't have the money. So that's my question.
Thank you. Any response?
The furnace that came out was not a must-do this year, so that came off. We also project our facilities needs. There's a short-term planning and long-term planning. We go out 5 years. We could certainly make that available at some point.
Emily Freiberg. I just want to second what the previous speaker said and also go one step further. In addition to a master facilities plan, I would also really love to see some kind of strategic plan or vision for the next 3 years out and the next 5 years out, particularly vis-a-vis enrollment data and any other challenges that we can anticipate now, just to shore up that fiscal responsibility and make sure that we are maximizing all of our assets and not waiting for crises before we deal with them. Is there any comment from the board on that?
Thank you. Any response, comment? Any other discussion?
I realized you asked for the board. I was kind of waiting to see if the board would have a response. We go through a yearly process, which we sort of delved into at our budget presentations, where we are analyzing lots of data. We're looking at attendance data, we're looking at special education data, we're looking at behavioral data. We set, again, short and long-term goals around those things. Some of that drives staffing, some of that drives changes in our multi-tiered system of supports that we're using to enable students to be more successful. Some of that drives summer programming for incoming kindergarten students. So there's kind of a constant process of looking at what are we doing, how are we doing it, what are some areas. When I publish the annual report every summer, which is posted on the district website, you can look at that data, you can look at enrollment data, you can look at special ed identification, you can look at attendance data, you can look at behavioral data, and it sort of gives you a context, not just a snapshot of what happened this year, but traditionally what has been happening, what are our goals, and as part of my annual goals, as well as the building principal's annual goals and the special education administrator's goals, we're constantly looking at those things, and it's sort of a cyclical process. When we anticipate a need longer term, if there's something that sort of goes from being an issue in the moment to sort of more of a trend, we definitely advocate for staffing from the board. We talk internally, whether that's looking at curricular changes, whether we need to do other things just in terms of helping. One other example would be going from a more traditional kindergarten programming to going for K for Me, when we started to realize that kindergarten students were coming in without readiness skills, without social skills. Didn't make a lot of sense to drive down academic rigor necessarily into kindergarten. So that's another example of the kinds of things that we're doing. So again, there is a short term, looking at what's happening within the context of the year. We're looking at trends over the last 3 years, and we're sort of projecting out. But I would suggest that you take a look at the annual report that's on the district website. It has a lot of good data you could look at.
Okay, and just for clarification, so I had asked about a strategic plan, and to my knowledge, in the annual report and the strategic plan are not the same.
Any other comments or response or discussion items? Seeing none. Oh, hi there.
Hello. Savannah Sessions Level. First of all, I just want to put the plug out that all of these, the facilities and transportation committee meetings are open to the public, so if you have specific questions, you're welcome to come. And also that we are looking at our committee structure, because we are living in a time where there is tons of data out there, and nothing is approved or voted on yet, but there has been discussion of creating a strategic planning committee specifically
Right.
so that we can do this work in a really clear, data-driven way. So be on the lookout for that. It just hasn't happened yet.
Thank you. Anybody else on this article? I am seeing none. So, again, this is Article 9, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for facilities maintenance with the amount as listed in the warrant. As many as are in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you, hands down. As many as are opposed to the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you very much. This motion passes. Article 10, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for debt, service, and other commitments. This is everybody's favorite topic. School board recommends $1,280,095.63. Do I have a motion to that effect? And a second? Second. Any discussion? Come on up.
Susan Parker, Town of Brownfield. Can you define debt service and other expenses or whatever it says? Can you just define what that actually is?
The debt service is the principal and interest payments on the bond that helped construct the elementary school. All other would be money that we would designate to transfer into the food service account. We have a healthy balance in our food service account, which is not part of the general fund, so there is no need this year to transfer money in.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments, discussion on this article number 10? I see none. We'll take the question. As many as are in favor of the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you. Hands down. As many as are opposed to the motion will now please raise their right hand. Thank you. This motion passes. Article 11, to see what sum the district will be authorized to expend for all other expenditures, and the school board recommends $0. Do I have a motion for that amount? Thank you, and a second?